Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about how to win scholarship for master's degree in Canada, presented by Muhammad Adil. Uh, this is my short introduction. My hometown is Swabi Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and I did my bachelor's degree from UET Peshawar back in 2017, and I did my master's as well from UET Peshawar back in 2020, and then I started my PhD in 2023 from University of Alberta. As far experience is concerned, currently I'm working as engineer in training at Wale Thompson Mine, Manitoba, Canada. It's a Brazilian company working, operating underground mine, metal mine. They are mining nickel here in this mine, and I'm working as engineer in training and working on my project for data collection. So for my PhD. I also work as a lab engineer after my graduation from UT Peshawar back in 2017. I started job as a lab engineer in January 2018 at School of Advanced Geomechanical Engineering, Nast Salpur, and then I was a visiting lecturer at UET Peshawar for an year, and then I joined again Nast as a mining engineer for a project. And then in March 2023 I left NUST and then came here to Canada for my PhD. Today's contents about the presentation will be talking about essential documents that is required for admission and scholarship, and then we'll talking about minimum eligibility requirements, upgrading skills for competitive edge in case your GPA is low, and then you'll be talking about how to create a Canadian format CV, how to contact a professor, the admission procedure, and then after you get your admission offer letter, we'll be talking about how to apply for a Canadian study visa. Here is some questions that I want to know. You can, if you have a smartphone and internet, you can scan the QR code and you'll see the questions. So let's go to the questions. Okay, and you can answer the question by scanning the QR code, and it will appear here. So how many of you graduating this year? I just want to know how many of the final year students attending this presentation and how much are non-final year students. Okay, so I think you have internet problem. How many of you considering abroad after graduation? Do you think GPA matters? What's the title of your final year project? So one of the title is Effect of Geological Variability on Tunnel Stability. It's a nice project. And how many of you have LinkedIn profile? So I'm assuming because of internet problem, very few answered the questions, but let's skip through this section and move forward. So we're talking about essential documents for the admission application. First of all, you need final transcript, and then you need your BSc degree. But if you are still in your you just finish your final semester and you haven't get your degree yet, you can obtain a degree completion certificate from university, and then you need to attest these documents, both of these degree and final transcript from university and then from HEC. You'll need 2 recommendation letters, one from your supervisor that who supervise your final year project, your BSc thesis, and you'll need another one from any professor in your department who knows you. Then you will need IELTS, but some universities accept English proficiency letter as well, issued by University Registrar Office. So sometimes the chairman of the department issue an English proficiency letter, but that is not acceptable here in Canada. It should be issued by the Registrar Office. There should be Registrar Office stamp and sign. And then the most important document, statement of purpose. For admission, you need SOP, and you need to explain in very unique way, that why you want to come to Canada, to, let's suppose, University of Alberta. Why did you choose this university? Why did you choose Canada? Why not Pakistan? And you need to tell about the your educational background. You need to tell about your research background, and how is your research background is in line with the professor's research area that who will be supervising you. So before starting application for the admission, you will already have a professor acceptance letter. So there are actually two kinds of master degrees. One is course-based master degree and one is research-based master degree. If you want to come on course-based master degree, you don't need professor acceptance letter. But in that case, the tuition fee for course-based master degree is double as compared to the research-based master degree, and you won't get any uh, scholarship. Like you won't get money or pay from the supervisor or professor. So in that case, you have to spend a lot of money for coming here for master degree. But if you want to come here to Canada on scholarship, you have to apply through master by research, and for that you need acceptance from the supervisor. And once you have all those documents, you can start application. You can write your statement of purpose, and then there is another statement of purpose for the study visa. So once you get your admission letter from the university and everything is done, then you need to apply for visa, study visa. And because Canadian study visa don't have interview, so you need to write a statement of purpose and explain everything to the visa officer. Minimum eligibility requirements for admission and scholarships, probably 16 years of education, your bachelor's degree, minimum 3 CGPA is required by university for admission, and it requires English proficiency. So again, it depends on university. Some university accepts English proficiency letter, like University of Alberta, but most of the universities don't accept English proficiency letter. They need IELTS, and you need at least 6 band in IELTS, 6.5 with no 6 less than each module. In case your CGPA is low, it's not 3 but it's around 2.8 or 2.9, even 2.7, still you can apply for masters by research, but in that case you need some extra skills. So if you have extra certifications related to your research area of research, like let's suppose you used machine learning in your research and you have some machine learning courses done. In other case, if you don't have extra certifications, you have field experience. So after graduation, you did some job in some mine or somewhere, and you have field experience. If you don't have field experience, you can have advanced skills in mining softwares. You might have used some softwares in your thesis. So you can mention about that as well, especially if those mining softwares are related to the research area which you will be working in your master's degree, or in your prospective supervisor's research area. So let's suppose he's expert in mining rock mechanics, and you have used some rock mechanics softwares, you did some analysis, you can mention about that. And then hands-on experience in programming. So now it's the era of IT and programming and computer machine learning. So if you know programming, you know coding, if you know well Python or MATLAB, you can mention about that, and you can convince your supervisor to accept you. So in case of low CGPA, if supervisor still accept you, university can give you admission. Okay, so coming towards the CV, which is very important document when you are approaching professors and you're writing emails to them, you will need to attach your CV. So that CV should be as per the Canadian format. So what is Canadian format CV? there should be no image on the CV. So usually people put their image on the CV. As per the Canadian format, they don't accept that. Don't use fancy graphics. Like most of the time people just go to Google and search some online templates for making CV, and then they just put information and it comes like a fancy colorful CV. So don't use those graphics and those templates, because what happens, professors don't have much time, or universities don't have much time to go through each CV, because hundreds and thousands of students apply to these universities in Canada. So what they do, they just upload those CVs in software, and that software just based on the what you have written in your CV, if you have some similarity words, some keywords, they just pick up those CVs and shortlist it, and then they select, like if it's 100 CVs, they shortlist 10 CVs and then they go through it. So in case of you use some online templates, most probably that software won't support your CV, and they'll, before shortlisting it, before uploading it, they'll just simply reject it. So don't use online templates or graphics. Another thing, after you start making your CV and you write your name on the top and your contact information, then write a brief summary about yourself, a kind of objective, and that should be different each time. Like you cannot have a same objective for every scholarship or for every supervisor or professor, because every professor has their own area of expertise. So you need to write something that, let's suppose if you want to apply for a master's scholarship, so you can write like I'm a fresh graduate, graduated in 2025, looking for a scholarship for master to pursue my higher education in through masters in Canada, something like this. And then once you write by your own, just give it to ChatGPT or DeepSeek and ask to correct it if there is any grammatical errors. So don't ask directly ChatGPT to write me a objective for my CV, because they use too much fancy words, and if someone look at it, everyone understands it's generated through ChatGPT or DeepSeek, which does not put a good impression. So write it by your own and just ask ChatGPT to correct the grammatical errors. Then include your detailed educational background. What major subjects did you read in your BSc? What was the title of your final year project? What did you do in your final year project? So actually in Canadian CV, you don't need to just tell that, okay, I did my thesis on stability analysis of the slope, let's suppose, of an open pit mine. Okay, so what was your contribution in that project? Because usually BSc project is done by the combination of students. Mostly 3 to 4 students do one project. So what was your contribution? And then you need to talk about the results. What did you achieve? That's very important. Then you need to include some experience if you have done some internships. So how long was that internship, and what did you do in that internship, and what you have achieved? So if you say I did surveying, and so what did you achieve through that task? So you need to list those tasks that you worked on, and then you need to tell about the outcome, that what was the outcome, and then talk about your skills. If you have used some mining softwares, if you have done some programming, if you have used any algorithms, talk about the skills. Also mention about the software skills and as well as hard skills, like if you have any good communication skills, leadership qualities. But you have to show, like if you say I have leadership qualities, so did you do any volunteer activities? Did you arrange any seminars, or did you host any organized any sports festival or sports competition, something like this? So you just need to did you lead any group of people in a specific job? So you just need to mention those things, and then you can mention it in the skills. Just don't write it, okay, I have leadership skills, but you didn't prove it. Okay, and then after you have your CV, then you can contact professors. So first of all, you need to look which Canadian universities offer mining engineering, masters in mining engineering, and then go to those departments website and you will see the professors uh, that are working in those departments. So you just need to go through professor's profile and shortlist professors, and then contact one professor at a time. So don't write a good email and send it to all professors at one time, because most of these professors are in contact with each other, they know each other, they talk to each other all the time. And if you send, because sometimes it happens, because like if you contact a professor and he don't have a funding, and he knows some other professor he has funding or a project, he will ask that professor, he will tell you that contact that professor, he has funding, and he might ask him that there's a student who want to come and he's a good student. And then if he says, oh okay, I saw this student, he emailed me as well, so it's not a good impression. So just uh, send email to one professor at a time and wait for his response. And another thing is, do a good research on professor's profile. When you are writing your email, especially focus, just write about a brief introduction about your background, your education background and experience, and then talk about the professor's research area, that how your area of research or your thesis or your experience or your skills align with professor's research area. So if he has a project, you just need to convince professor that I am a good fit for your project, I can be in your team because I have these skills and my research is aligned with you. I did this thing in my bachelor's degree which is very much aligned with your area of research. So do a good research of professor's profile, see his publications, what kind of research papers he has published, and what's the ongoing project he has. So usually all the professors, they list their projects on their profile. And write a clear subject line in your email. So there is a input which you write the email of the professor, and then there is a subject line. So write clear subject line like prospective MSc student. And if you know the project, that professor has some research project going on, you can just write the name of that project with after student as well, like student dash name of that project. And craft a unique email. Like don't send the same email to every professor. Write a unique email for each professor, because each professor has their own expertise, and you just need to target those keywords so that the professor can, because they don't have much time to look in detail to your email. Just you need to highlight those main keywords so that he can see and he understand, okay, this could be a good fit. And be patient for professor's response. So if you send an email to one professor and then you say, okay, I'm writing another email, like a different email but for a different professor, just wait for some time, for a week. If he doesn't respond, send him a reminder and wait for another week. If he doesn't respond, then you can go for another professor. So this is the procedure how to contact a professor, and if he accepts you, if you get a good response, positive response, you can get acceptance letter. Okay, so going towards the admission procedure. So now you have your degrees and transcripts, you have acceptance letter from the professor, you have English proficiency or IELTS, and you craft your statement of purpose, and you scan all these documents and upload it. You will need to upload it in the admission procedure when you start your application. So first of all, you have all these documents in your soft form. You create account on university admission portal. Every university has their admission portal online. You need to go there and create your account and then start application. So when you start application, you will need these documents to be uploaded and submit the application. And then because all these research based degrees, your admission application will go to the admission committee, and as well as they'll ask professor, your prospective supervisor, to approve that he is your incoming student and you already accepted this student. So he need to give approval so that your admission process can be speed up. So keep in touch with your supervisor and let him know that I submitted my admission application, and they says that you need to wait for processing the application, and that processing includes approval from the supervisor. So just something like this, you need to inform him. And then once you get your admission offer letter, you are done with the admission process, and now you need to apply for Canadian study visa. So same as like you scan your documents, you prepare your documents for admission, you need to prepare your documents for a study visa as well. So basic documents that you need before starting apply for Canadian visa, it's completely online process. There is no interview in Canadian visa. You just need to go to IRCC website, and they'll you need to fill when you start your study visa application, they'll ask some questions. There will be a questionnaire. When you answer those questions, they'll automatically calculate your eligibility, and if you are eligible, they'll proceed you to the next step, which is uploading these documents. So you will need admission offer letter, confirm admission offer letter. You will need scholarship letter or financial letter, which can be your supervisor acceptance letter, because he'll say, okay, I accepted this student, he will be working with me in this project, and he will be my research assistant, and he will pay your tuition fee, he will give you a stipend. And just to be on a safer side, usually there was two streams for Canadian visa. One is SDS stream, student direct stream, and then was non-SDS, the normal stream. So usually what happens in SDS stream, people used to the students used to put 20,000 deposit $20,000 Canadian dollars in a Canadian bank in a block account, which they call GIC account, and then apply for a study visa. Once they get visa and come here, they can withdraw their money from the bank and use it. So that was just a surety that you have enough money to live in Canada for at least one year or 2 years. But now they just finished that program. There is no SDS program anymore. The best thing about that program was like you can get your visa in 2 months. It was very quick process. Usually the normal non-SDS stream, it takes a lot of time for Pakistani passport to get Canadian study visa. And right now the situation is like, after this new government come, the rules are very strict, and they put some cap on the new incoming students. So usually like now they are accepting 50% students to come to Canada. They don't want more students to come right now. So just to be on a safer side, it's better if you have scholarship letter and then you have a bank statement as well. So it will just increase your chances. It assures the visa officer that he has enough money to stay in Canada and to manage his expenses. Usually if you go to IRCC website, they mention about how much money do you need for 1 year to stay in Canada, like for your expenses. You can check that. It was like around 30,000 before, but now it increased because of inflation. And then you need statement of purpose for your visa. This is the most important document in your visa application. You need to write everything about your background, educational background, your experience, what kind of job you are doing, how much money you earn, and the certificates of all employment records. And you need your CV, you need your travel documents, and especially in this SOP, you need to tell about yourself, like about everything. You need to tell about yourself, your financial status, your school, which university you are joining, about your professor, and then you need to talk about your that I will leave Canada by the end of my studies. So like I'll not stay illegally beyond my legal stay. So you need to assure, you need to take a kind of oath that I'll abide by all Canadian law. I will follow all Canadian laws. I'll not violate. I will leave the Canada by the end of my studies. And then you need to upload your travel documents. You need police clearance certificate from your hometown where you are living, or if you are living in some other city more than 6 months, you need police clearance certificate from that area as well. But usually if your address on passport or CNS is same, you just need to get a police clearance certificate from your area. And then you need family registration certificate. It's not mandatory, but if you upload your family registration certificate, it shows your family members, like how many members, how many siblings you have. And you just need to tell the visa officer in your SOP that all my family members are residing outside Canada, I mean back home, or if your siblings are living in some other countries, you just need to tell them that I have no intentions to stay in Canada after my studies because all my family is living in back home. So you need to show strong home ties, that okay, my whole family is living in Pakistan, and I'll go back after my studies. Also, if you have any land on your name, if you have any assets back home, mention about those assets as well, because it makes your home ties stronger, so that visa officer can think, okay, he'll go back because he has land, he has a car on his name, he has his whole family living back home, so he will go back. If you are married, you need to mention about your marriage certificate as well. And once you submit your application, then after some time IRCC will ask you to submit medical report. So you will go to Islamabad, there is a hospital there, you need to take appointment and do your medical, and they'll just send that medical directly to IRCC online. But some people do upfront medical. So upfront medical means before starting your Canadian visa application, before submitting your application, you take appointment from that hospital and go there and do your medical in advance. And once you submit your application, it will automatically update your medical because they have your record. So that only what's the benefit of doing medical in advance? It just saves your time. So when you do medical after submitting the application, you will have to wait for them to send you a notification to go for medical, and then you will get appointment. That also takes some time to get appointment, and then you will do appointment, and then they will update your status, medical status. It has pros and cons. Like the benefit is you can save your time, but the disadvantages of doing medical in advance is like you will not know that you will get rejection or acceptance. So if you get rejection, you just lose your money. So after submitting your application, if you get medical request, it means you have good chances to get accepted, your visa get accepted. So that's one of the benefit of doing medical after submitting the application. This was all about this presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask, and I will upload this session recording on YouTube, and if you need to, you can watch it later on as well. Thank you everyone.